Folks, when you're ready, we're live on YouTube. Local time is actually just 6 o'clock as advertised. Little known time zone, called Irish time, which is GMT plus a bit of whatever you're having yourself. Welcome to another edition of Founders Market, Founders Night, live on YouTube and broadcast to the galaxy. I'm looking forward to the day when actually I can sit at home and watch one of these broadcast from Johannesburg or Brussels or Los Angeles. And we can say I started there. We were there at the start, guys. Founders Night is a celebration of some of the bravest people in business, the guys who get up and take on the world with their ID. And tonight's founders are Alan and Lewis, and their startup is Learn Your Lessons, and we'll hear about them in a second. For me, the more interesting aspect of tonight is the route they took to getting here. They've thrown out the rule book on startups. Market research, no. Minimum viable product, no. Business plan, no, but then that's a good idea. Out the window. They went straight for the kill zone, built the product, and are been spending the last 6 months, I suppose, working on it. So I think the backstory is the interesting, well, certainly the product is very interesting, but from a startup perspective, the really interesting bit is how they got here. And I'm hoping that they're going to pick up something from the feedback. So one of you is going to...
Yeah, I'm going to start.
Okay.
Hi everyone, my name is Alan. This is Louis, and we're the founder of Learn Your Lesson. It's an online marketplace for tutors and teachers to connect with students. So basically, I'm just going to give you a brief story of how we got started, how we basically broke all the rules in a bad way, and where we are in the marketplace and where we see ourselves going. So basically, just the story is that one night I was at home, just flicking through Facebook, came across this video of this guy walking into the underground in London. There was a piano set up, and he just walks up to the piano and starts playing the piano. So I was just going to play some of the video there for you. Is there sound? Just sounds nice, huh?
It's got a piano,
Some feedback he's getting.
let me change something.
Rocking the joint. Okay, so well, anyway, the moral of the story is I was very kind of inspired just by watching the video. You know, I wanted to go straight online, find lessons. I want to learn piano here we go. Go to the end anyway. So anyway, even before the video had finished, I was thinking, I have to go online. I want to learn how to play the piano. So, how many lessons did I actually get in the end? Anybody?
0.
0. Give that man a can. Give him another can. But yeah, so if you go into the, PowerPoint. That's it. Oh yeah. So straight onto Google, put in piano lessons Cork, and what came up? Gumtree, basically. It's kind of basic ads, like you can see there, first thing that comes up, childcare worker. Lessons available for piano, cello and music theory in Cork. Basically just one-line ads aimed at trying to sell themselves to customers. This is a Gumtree profile. Experienced musician, coaching in piano, phone number. That's basically it. So I suppose, I came away from it thinking, I wanted to get lessons. Then when I went online, there was basically nothing there. You kind of look at it, it's kind of very underwhelming. So they are basically not able to convert a passing interest in piano into a sale. So I thought, wouldn't it be great to kind of have a place you could go to find lessons in anything you wanted to learn? Piano, guitar, not even music, maybe grinds, if you have an interest in kind of developing yourself educationally. So, it was just a thought that I had. So fast forward a couple of months later, I run into Louis. Louis mentions that he's into web developing. We kind of talk about how we're sick of our 9-to-5 jobs and all this kind of stuff, and
This is being broadcast on YouTube, by the way.
So we start throwing out ideas, on just kind of anything, on web developing ideas, and I send you an email, wasn't it, with a couple of ideas, and
Yeah.
Louis straight away picks out the learn your lesson idea, which is basically, a marketplace for people to kind of put their profiles up online and sell themselves to customers. So, leaning our lesson, basically from the start. Bit of wordplay, please.
I think you're very slow.
So from the start, we were saying, this is kind of a bit of a project for ourselves that we kind of want to learn, because Louis is just getting into web developing. I'm kind of studying digital marketing. So it was just an idea at the start. It wasn't a fully fledged business plan or anything. We never really fleshed out the idea that much, as Fergus kind of touched on earlier. There was nothing really in place. We kind of broke, the first rule of business, in that basically we made but so leading our lesson, we've basically spent less than €100 so far getting to where we are. The website domain names are probably the most expensive. What.ie and .co.uk. Spent about €30 on photos for a $1 photo club. We joined the club and put that throughout the website. Signed up for the MailChimp email automation only last month, so that's €8 a month. And then we paid somebody €5 to make logos for us on Fiverr.com. So mistakes were made, alright, but we learned a lot from it. It was a learning process. Is basically what we decided at the start, like that we were going to go out there and learn a lot from doing this, and kind of learn as we go. So what does Learn Your Lesson offer? Well, it's security for both the teacher and the student because it tracks mobile, like we keep track of mobile phone numbers, addresses, email addresses, things like that. There's reviews, so there's going to be a profile on teacher has a profile, so students are able to go up and review the teacher after a lesson. So there's going to be feedback for the teachers. So if there's a good teacher there, you know, they're going to want to be on Learn Your Lesson. So it gives you the ability to pay online for lessons and packages. So a student can go online, find a teacher, pay for one lesson, €15, €20, or else they can buy a package of lessons, maybe €200, 15 lessons, and then so that gives the teacher the ability to maybe charge a small bit more, because it's when students see a big green button that says buy now, they're more inclined to actually go and purchase a lesson instead of maybe making a phone call if they see an ad on Gumtree. You see, teachers market themselves to a larger audience. So I suppose this is the shareability aspect of it. Teachers are able to put their profiles on social media, on Twitter, Facebook, and then put themselves out there, and will have a nice attractive profile for them to market themselves. So Louis is actually going to show you the website later, so he'll go into more detail on all this stuff. So the internet came up with where we got our ideas from, where we were influenced by. When I say international, it's more kind of an American concept in that it's personal development. If you see what they're selling, it's all about new skills, improve skills, improve your life by taking yoga, improve your health by taking yoga, you know, improve your education by learning science. So this kind of concept, you wouldn't really see it that much in UK or Ireland. That it's very niche. In Ireland, you have like grinds.ie, musiclessons.ie, whereas in these kind of websites here in the US, they've got a lot of subjects. But I suppose their niche is that they're aiming themselves at personal development, so that they're allowed to be encompassing, and they're taking a lot of subjects that way. Whereas in Ireland, it's all very niche. So these are just more Udemy. These websites, they offer courses online. So a teacher can actually, it's not actually lessons, but Udemy offer the ability for a teacher to put up an online course, and then people will go online and they'll pay good money for it. Like takelessons.com. This is the one where we got a lot of our ideas from. It's pretty much the same idea. They're based in San Diego in the US. Again, it's all about what you want to learn, personal development, but then they have a lot of subjects, which means it's a bigger market for students and for teachers. So the competition in Ireland, we came across this only a couple of days ago. We kind of freaked out about it, but they're called apprentice.com. They're based in Belgium or else France. We're not sure yet because we only found them a couple of days ago. But it's basically, it's a very similar idea to what we're doing. But I suppose we're kind of looking at it as a positive because they're not based in Ireland, they're based in Belgium. They can't go and meet people, they can't go and meet teachers or students and get good feedback from them the way we plan to do. Okay, we haven't actually gone out and done it yet, but that's.
Sorry, when you say you can't do it, like,
Well, we have gotten we have.
like what is the interaction like between the teacher and student? Like, do they provide some feedback via your site, or is it just anecdotal?
Pardon?
So in other words, like, right, let's say somebody goes away and gets a guitar lesson from some tutor. Does the consumer of that service go to your site to basically give feedback on that service?
Yeah, they will have the ability to put up. They can pay for the lesson online, and then they'll have the ability to kind of review the teacher.
So the person, like, so let's say the person providing the service, the prosumer, provides the service, and the consumer goes up and then selects that service and pays for that service via your portal, your site. So that's where you make your money, obviously. Like, and then that person comes back and gives feedback on that. Like, that's actually that's really cool. Like, because basically, like, you get analytics straight off that. Yeah.
Well, that's the plan anyway. That's what we're aiming for. So these guys, they're based in Belgium. I said, like, so when I say we're getting feedback from teachers, like, we are going to be, we'll have the ability to change the website based on what they want. If they want, better email service or better communication with a student before they actually make a booking. That's something we can change in the website at the moment. So that's.
Define better.
Pardon?
Define better.
Better communication.
Yeah. Again, what does that?
Well, at the moment, the website's just set up for automated email between our website and the student, and our website and the teacher. So there is the possibility of just having better communication between teacher and student, just to communicate themselves, without us being a third party.
Kind of the social networking aspect.
Yeah. Like, we want to build a community.
Yeah.
That's the whole plan, is that we build a community.
Yeah, sounds great.
So this is our website. You can see there are some similarities, but
Can you click back to the last?
no, I don't think so.
We only saw the other one Monday. So.
Yeah. So. We have the emails proving that we found this long time ago. So yeah, this is our website, and as you see, there are a lot of the taglines are kind of similar. So it did kind of shake us a bit for maybe an hour or two, like, but we are kind of looking at it as a positive, like, that we can even learn from them, like, and how they're doing things. So where do we go from here? There is room for a third person to kind of join the company at the moment, because myself and Louis are working full-time jobs. We kind of need somebody out there on the ground pushing it. So if you know anybody, I suppose with this competition coming online, we do need to kind of push it more. Get on the ground and corner the Irish market as soon as possible. So I'm going to pass it over to Louis there to show you the website.
Hi. My name's Louis, and I've been coding this since last August, I think, which is a long time now. So what Alan was talking about there now was teachers' profiles. Sorry, it's going to take a minute. The whole idea behind the website really is that a teacher, as you saw in Gumtree a while ago, has they can't sell themselves on it, but we want to push them to sell themselves online so that they'll get more bookings quicker. So we want them to sorry, no. So at the moment it's just myself and Alan registered on it, which, as I said, we need to get on the ground quickly. So this is my profile. So
That's actually
That was
just
the money was spent on those pictures.
How not to take a picture.
Yeah. So I have it set up that the teacher can have, teach from more than one location if they want, or as many as they want. This overview is where the teacher really
Review.
crap. We should
Have
have
to delete
got
that.
rid of all these. So the overview is where the teacher just explains everything about himself and really tries to sell himself. That's 6 months ago. I forgot about that.
You're saying you got over it?
6 months ago. That's what, Alan.
Sorry.
I
thought you were going to delete that.
I totally forgot about it. So this one says sexy bastard, but
I reviewed myself.
So anyway, we want the teacher to be able to push the that's prep, we want the teacher to be able to push themselves. So one thing we want to be able to show people what experience they have, if they've gotten education thing, and it's like, went to business school in Swansea Institute, which should give the student, more confidence in who they're booking a lesson with, and give them more, they feel click this button a bit easier. This is the packages system Alan was talking about a while ago, so you can get 3 Italian lessons for 75. It's up to the teacher to add them. If they don't have any, that wouldn't be visible. We've also put it here that any subject they teach is here, so there's like one click away from book a drum lesson. There you go, round to the drums. Just make things easy for them. This is what should be here is we want the teacher to also take loads of photos of their workspace, themselves playing or teaching or doing whatever it is they're trying to give lessons in. Again, so the student knows if they go to their house, they'll see where they're going, what kind of environment they're going into. So again, it's just to make things more attractive to the student. And down here is the calendar service we have, which is not displaying any bookings at the moment. If someone had made a booking, it would show up here in blue, and you can see, I can't book a lesson at that time. The booking system then is just, pretty straightforward. Select your subject, draw it at the teacher's house or your house, click home, and there we have set up for PayPal and Stripe. You can choose whichever one you want. The ability to save your own address, you don't have to, and that's the home booking. Then the teacher's house booking, I must actually add, there's a few things I have to add in, which you're going to see here now, to the home booking. So I'm selecting that I want this lesson at the teacher's home, and you can add, from here you can do block bookings, which is different to the package booking. You select how many lessons you want to book. I mean, I've hit up to 52. If you want to book 52 lessons in a row, go ahead. So this button actually checks if the teacher is free at the time you're picking, which doesn't seem to be working right now. Ask that I picked. So there you go. You're booking, he is free at that time, May 21st, that time, that many hours, that price, pay, and away you go. Once that's done, then you get an email, the teacher gets an email, and it's up to you to turn up because you've already paid for it. So that's them locked in, hopefully. The main thing, profiles there, qualifications, so that the teachers can prove to the students how good they are and what they're trying to teach. Security for teachers is, it's PayPal and it's Stripe, so they're getting the money in advance, and we have a record of people's email. I know it's not much, but at least they have some way of tracking people. One thing Philip put me onto reviews, Philip, last week, was analytics for the teachers. So we have Google Analytics on this. So like we should be able to, as Alan was saying, we need to push this to people. So we're hoping to use the Google Analytics to show teachers how many views they're getting, which we have looked at and it can be done, so that they can see that, like, they're getting this many hits or whatever, but no one's actually clicked the book button. So then we refer back to what they have on this page here. What's on your profile? Could your pictures be better? Could you explain things better? Well, obviously not. You couldn't do better than these at all. So that's the main thing with the profile. Now the other two things we're looking at is the packages there. Like, we're hoping, I don't think any other website has this, but I mean, they take about 2 seconds to actually implement it. The packages thing, we're hoping to more market it at like gifts, so that, if you bought your, I don't know, son, nephew, whatever, a drum kit, you could also come onto our site and book drum lessons for him. So you give him the kit and you give him the lessons at the same time, so that way he's off and running straight away. And as with using the map, like, you don't have to be in the same town as the person you bought the drum kit for, or the whatever it is. You can pick a teacher that's near him, and you'll know they're near him from the map. And should make things. I think it would work good as a really nice gift to get, I think. Also,
that's actually really, really good.
Yeah.
Like, if you were to go up to the site, basically, like, I'm purchasing a piece of equipment or whatever, and I'm also getting somebody that can actually train this person how to do it. Like,
yeah.
Would it maybe be an idea to, like, add equipment into the site to try to lock in some of those,
Integrate it.
so that you could also maybe attract it to the lesson at the same point?
Maybe, yeah.
Tomorrow morning, if I was to buy a laptop for my mother, I'd use that.
Yeah.
It's like, here's a laptop, and here's somebody who can show you how to use it. Not me.
I thought you were talking about getting music lessons there. Getting music lessons a bit late. Guys, what the lads obviously done is they've built a very thoughtful website, but a website isn't the business, and I think what the lads need tonight is, we can certainly, there's tons of feedback on the site, but I think what they want is and I'm paraphrasing you here a little bit, like, is the path to the market, and filling in some of the steps they've skipped on the way, which is fine. It's a different way to do it. It's a very thoughtful website. I think you cover an awful lot of things, and websites are evolutionary. There will be something else that you will add to it, but the website is only the front face of what you do. And I think so. If there's stuff ideas that you can give them, feedback you can give them on the business, how to get it out there, and bolt-ons, I guess go up with a few themselves. It's great. But
well, I think one of the big things, like, I worked for a while in kind of sensitive areas, like with regards to pedophilia. One of the big things is vouching for people that are dealing with kids. That's a big thing. And having a system there that basically where that the person that you're sending your kid to isn't going to be, and get something that.
Do you know anything like that?
There's a company in Cork.
If there's someone,
that are specialists in this to do the guard vetting and stuff, and the name will come to me in a few minutes.
Okay.
They're a spin-off from UCC. I used to work on them.
They're nice fellow. It's a very down to earth fellow. Easy to talk to, and they'd be, because we were spoken to them, and I'd say they're willing to give a hand.
it's a great little bolt. Again, it's a great,
Yeah.
because as a parent, my concern is we discussed this. One of the things the guys have is maybe a security feature that if well, that's one. But if you're giving the guitar lessons and you're giving it at 30 South Main Street, that I can go and look and say, okay, through Google Earth, and say that's the building, that's what it looks like, and I know if I turn up there, I'm in the right place. If your man isn't here, there's issues straight off.
Yeah.
It's if you've daughters
you
or
can take
kids.
a person that's giving the lesson, and also you've got history of that person and his experience giving lessons as well. So I mean, the kids might not like the guy, you know, but at the same time they can say, like, yeah.
What might be a deterrent from people who are actually giving the lessons is that they might not want to have their house being, known by whoever it is. That if everyone can see where they live, basically, if it's from home.
Well, that's it. That's the thing. It's up to the teacher to make that accurate. They can put in the city, and then once they get the email, they can communicate better. But that's up to them. They don't have to put in their exact address.
You have to ask yourself, though, why would somebody who's offering a service like that not want to address them?
They might want just the street rather than the door number.
Yeah. I just graduated, and a lot of my friends are giving grinds, in their own spare time. And I know that even one set of them actually made a site like that, and they were their own first teachers on their site as well, essentially. And I don't think they would be comfortable putting their home addresses on it because it's not necessarily where to do their grinds, and if it is, it's only once you've established that very basic.
And there's an option for business as well.
Well, I suppose if
they would have been happy with even putting their neighbourhood, like to say.
Well, as I said,
But can I ask
the-
why?
There's a reality as well
Because
with
it's
tax.
not their place of
Tax is
business.
a big reality people
It's
don't
not.
have.
It's not just their home. It's their family home or their shared house, and it's not really their place to have people showing up to the door.
Speak up, Michael.
It's not just open to the people who come to the field. You've got hundreds of people viewing the website. And one person clicks through, you've got then multiples of people looking at their address and all their personal details. Whereas if they're not using your platform, they're talking to word of mouth, or people are finding out, oh, that person gets guitar lessons, you're only sharing that private information with a select few people. Whereas here it's being shared with anybody essentially, and the people
Even on the basic things, like there are tools that scrape websites for email address and stuff to spam. And people addresses on the site that are open for even just spam.
have you met it?
But
That's in the start of this.
Yeah, like, and it's really important because I don't want everybody to address.
Someone that wants to learn and someone who wants to teach, and then they have to go to a physical location to do.
Well, it's the teachers deciding. Like, you can put in multiple locations. Could be his own house. Could be somewhere in town.
I suppose to come around that, like, for myself personally, I was a fantastic idea, and I was getting this vision of where someone would come online to learn.
Yeah, that's
Well, that's kind of the evolution of where we would like to go, like in that,
I think there's a massive market and a better market for yourselves if you could be. I know you've probably got a little bit more work to get ready, where a tutor can come on and give you 10 different 5-minute videos. Someone has to pay to access it, and then possibly then move to.
But that's on YouTube as well, though. Yeah. It's
Or
like,
Google Hangouts or.
I learned.
Google Hangouts,
But
like
it's not,
the big.
it's not where you can then connect with a Skype, say once a week, and say, look, I've looked at the time, and didn't get that through the good person.
They know it's only like playing actors on YouTube.
Through that booking time.
can you guys just explain me the payment process when somebody wants to hire someone, where the payment can happen?
that. So they click book now here, and brings up the button, and it tells you how much it's going to be.
Yes.
And then, so we're at the point now where we can either take a cut ourselves, or
But,
go on, sorry.
okay, but so after the payment.
Yeah.
So what would be the next step? So after the payment, the student could actually have access to the address of the teacher, right?
No. They just get an email saying you have booked a lesson. The teacher will be in contact, and the teacher gets an email saying such and such has booked a lesson, and the teacher gets the student's email, and then it's up to them, email address, it's up to them to contact.
And let's say if nothing happens, let's say if the teacher doesn't.
Well, that's one area, where again, like, you get a bad review, and the money, like, we can't hold on to their money, I don't think we can.
So somebody.
Stripe you can refund. Like the Stripe area.
Like, but there is a guarantee on the website. Like, if you have bad experience with the website, that you will get your money back. Like, we are willing to pay the money for the lesson, like, because I think it's our reputation as well. Like,
Yeah, customer service, I think it's a lot, because I think you're adding the personal kind of touch rather than just having videos online, like you get that down, that you're actually.
So yeah, if people aren't happy, we'll if the teacher's not willing to pay the money back, we'll pay the money back. Like, so that won't be an issue.
But what you could do is, from the moment that the payment happens, the communication platform between the teacher and the student could happen within your platform.
That would be another next step to get at. Yeah.
I think that should be a first step. What Angelini is
First step.
I think, like, it's good to have all these conversations. I guess I don't know if the security, the way you guys are saying you're going to protect locations or whatever, is really a unique selling point. But I think this is a nice conversation to have. But I think you guys are having it before you should have it. Because the first thing you have to be looking at here is, because before you can have this conversation, you have to have this traffic. And I'm listening to what you guys are saying, and I'm thinking to myself, I'm looking at the websites firstly, and now all the other guys that you showed, because both of the guys that you showed, it was take a lesson and move.
Apprentice.
Apprentice.
And
in the Americans websites,
the
Udemy.
they're very big. They're in Ireland as well.
They're international.
Yeah, they're international.
There's
Yeah,
one thing I think,
what I'm
just to take a
saying-
step back, sorry, just to take a step back further in terms of generating traffic to your site. One very easy way I can see before you have a full-time marketing person on board to build up the amount of teachers on your site, because that's what will drive traffic really, is things to access. Just go onto all the sites that you found, Gumtree, blah blah blah, and just call every single one of those people and be like, we're building something, go on.
Yeah.
Actually, I've seen that work.
Why not?
Yeah.
I have a question. How are you going to order? Like, say if I'm looking for music lessons, like piano, whatever. How are you going to order the hits that come up? Like, is there like a tagging process where I can say like must have a certain level of piano before it? Like, let's say, you know, how are you going to filter it so that people can't lie and say that they have qualifications that they don't have, or they have finished grade 8 in piano but they actually don't? How will it be a system of like who has the best reviews will go to the top of the list, or?
Well,
there's an awesome fucking guitar player.
That could be like that's one thing with the photos. We're hoping people will display what they have, you know, and like.
But like even if like especially for musicians, like I often find like I would have done a lot of music myself, and a lot of us we wouldn't have gone on to do music, but we would have grade 8 done, so we would take students in our own home or whatever, and like often what you would do is you would just show your level by playing. Like, would there be an option where you could upload a video of yourself actually playing to show your standard?
Have you met Joe and audition?
Yeah, do you know, like something like that, so that you can actually see.
Audition and showcase.
Yeah.
Kind of ties back into anywhere.
We did look at that at the start.
Huh?
Well, I think that
So you-
content slowly is just like
Was it too much?
What about YouTube? It should be easy.
First of all, what did you learn piano?
No.
So you're waiting until the website's running.
Basically, yeah.
Okay. The other thing I was going to ask you, if I go onto your website when I haven't signed in or anything, am I able to see phone numbers and stuff like that?
There's no phone numbers visible anywhere.
Okay, so you have to be already.
You could see the.
We're kind of deciding on whether we're allowing teachers to put up phone numbers.
And what's to stop them, removing you and going straight to the customer, straight to the Okay.
Well, that's because we're not ruling that out, like, because we might actually be looking at just charging the teachers membership, so they can either take the money face to face from the student, or they can take it online. If the student buys online, they'll have the guarantee of we'll pay the money back, 100% guarantee. So if you have a bad experience,
Then I suppose the only issue is really that you need the traffic on site so that they will be buying membership. Otherwise, I don't see the point in it if you know one visiting your site. There's no incentive for them.
And actually, that's what I didn't get.
If you don't want
What I'm trying to say is, it's like, cool, these conversations are relevant. It's relevant to know when it comes to payments, how payments are being made. It's relevant to ask the question, how are we going to verify people?
let's say now.
Cheers. It's relevant to know how you're going to verify people. I mean, I know we're doing that exactly. But I know that we only started looking at that once we first actually knew our markets, once we knew who we were going after, once we knew that they were having this headache and we had the aspirin, And then while developing, I learned that last night. Once we only started really developing our platform, we always knew that payments was going to be in. We know payments was going to be in. We always knew that people were going to have to be verified. But we only then started ironing that out when we were developing.
Yeah.
I think you guys really should start looking at, in Ireland, wherever you're starting. Like I said to you guys in our conversation in conference, who are you going for quickly? And after that now, if they really do have this problem, like Timmy was saying, then you can track them down whatever way you guys can track them down to bring attention to a platform. But I think we don't have that tightened up at this moment.
Can I ask you, same question, what is the problem? What is the problem? What is the problem?
At your feet.
You want to answer that one?
What is the problem? Fundamentally, what is the problem and what is your solutions to fix that? So what is the fundamental motivation for you to build this thing? And I know we saw the YouTube, the piano, but what?
There's no, like Dundee ties up everything. You can say anything on Dundee. We want the same thing for this.
Why is Dundee wrong and you're right?
But Dundee doesn't do, like you can't display your talents like we're going personalization.
What about so yeah, here we go. You can't broadcast on Dundee. Like, effectively you just put something up on Dundee.
Yeah.
You can't actually say this is who I am in Dundee. Yeah.
So we want to tie, like, just, if you want to get a lesson, just learn your lesson. Just make it easy for people to not have to go through Gumtree. It does take a while to find what you want.
So what you're saying is that location, your location awareness is a USP, and profile awareness is USP, and security awareness is USP.
There's also it acts as a management system as well for the teacher, because there's calendars, so they'll be able to track bookings that kind of way. And
you can do that on there's systems out there that you can do that on.
And as well as that, it's not about teachers, it's about customers. The perfect storm is basically that you got 1,000 students and one teacher, because we got 1,000 people paying for platform. But no, I think that narrative, that basically, this is a thing where there's traceability, accountability, and there's geolocation aspects of it, because in the last 5 years, this is what it's all about: it's traceability, accountability, and where the fuck do you live? It's seriously important.
I said this to the guys earlier, a very early conversation what I had with them, which was back that one. USP, what are you selling that's different to what I can get on Gumtree or whatever? And I think we zoned in very quickly on the security thing, and the security thing is, goes to the validation as well. It's not just, am I safe going there, but, am I bloody safe learning off the guy? Am I going to learn something, I'm learning it all wrong or whatever? So they're a similar point. I just wanted to ask Saoirse, being girl in the house tonight, because if you're talking about security being a USP, and you take the physical security that Alan is the guy who says he is, and he's based in 30 South Main Street. As you're looking on site, and you're taking up ping pong. Is how important is, and you're 50% of the market and maybe more. Is how important is security, and how important is it to them for it to be USP? Are we going down a rabbit hole on it?
I don't think so. I think if I would have used for instance couch surfing, so you can, there are certain sites like that where there are verified users where you can, if you are also a verified user on the site, you are able to see the full details. So there's a better level of security. Whereas a non-verified user who's saying I am such and such and I live here, I wouldn't go anywhere near them, even if they were offering a very good deal. You just wouldn't take that. Even I'm sure they could have 70 positive reviews, but the fact that they're not actually verified by the company, I wouldn't go. So it gives you that added benefit.
Those companies don't have no obligation to filter that stuff. Basically you stand up and you just do it.
But the verified users, they're also paying a fee to be, so there's that other additional thing, they're not just spamming, they actually have to pay to use it. So it is an additional thing. But for myself, if I want to use a system like this, my main concern would be, is the person that I'm actually learning from qualified to teach me whatever it is they're saying they can teach me.
Yeah.
So the thing is, in the music world, I often find you fill up your students on a personal basis who know it goes by word of mouth. So if I have like 10 students and I can't take 5 people, I'll just say, well, my friend is a teacher, so I'll verify them. So it's a very close knit community. So I'm wondering, how will you say to teachers that it's better for them to be on a platform like this if they can actually survive themselves in their own close knit community, whereby I myself am verifying them, like as another teacher, I think they're worthwhile going to do. So it might be a good idea, for instance, like teachers who have qualifications from like the school or a degree, where a professor at that college would have a review saying, put their name to it, this was my student, they were really good, things like that. So people that you can actually look up to who are well known have verified the person as being who they say they are, as opposed to just them saying, I have a degree from this place. So, and that, something like that where you can actually verify they have the qualification.
But even with the word of mouth thing, then saying, oh, I verified this person, that's still very small. Whereas this is something that would be a much broader scale, which is what you're going for. So you can appeal to all of the Cork area rather than this person knowing 2 or 3 people that maybe want to learn guitar. You're appealing to everyone who does want to learn. So I think that's taken away from, like, as in, there's not as much of a need for teachers to be like, they have a better option basically of getting a lot more people rather than just relying on friends somewhere.
Yeah.
One final minor point as well, just for like negating chance of bad experiences, I suppose, is that you say that you can book like up to 52 lessons in advance. Does the teacher currently approve? Well, it is tempting in my head to be able to just pay for it and have it paid for it. Especially when it's 52 weeks of the year and the majority of the people teaching these skills do a part-time on top of something else. Saying yes to a full year of a specific learning each week, I can imagine that many of them would end up being cancelled and being funded, and I just imagine that it would maybe cause problems. And like, even if you look at Airbnb, you make a request and generally they'll accept that request within 2-3 hours, but nonetheless, it's better than making a request and realizing that has to be cancelled 2 days in advance.
But I presume the calendar will be available, like, as in the calendar is also available to the student, as in they can't
Well, like,
see.
each week, like, they could have their friend's birthday on Thursday and a wedding on Friday that week, and if they have 6 bookings,
You can't predict 52 weeks in the year.
But like
this is generally not their fault.
No, but you're getting down to know semantic.
Well, it's not like that.
I understand where you come from, but it is just.
I'm not trying to advertise something.
I think you guys are really
The
good.
guys at an earlier stage.
Because you guys are really good. What these guys are telling you, it's like before you go into a rugby game, they're telling you to wear a scrum cap, wear a mud guard. You're already on the field. I'm saying now what you need is validation. Because you're already out there. These are features. You've already got your platform out. You've got something where you can go to speak to someone and tell them to test it. It's too late for this now. You can do it as you go. For now, I think you guys need validation, which is the most important thing. And you need to know what you're doing. Your focus. You're a nice website, in a nice place, field, and validate that someone's actually going to use this.
We just have one voice at a time.
And focus in a certain place. These are like these kind of features. You can't be perfect at this stage. So
I know.
This is looking for perfection.
Yeah.
What you guys can do. And as you go and as you find an obstacle.
It's evolving.
As you go and as you meet an obstacle, then do what you have to do. Don't verify now if it's not a problem. If you want people to meet up and host their lessons in their own space, there's nothing wrong with saying at the moment you guys aren't looking at that place. At the moment you're focusing on one side.
I personally disagree with that. I just think that initially, if you're launching this to get going, teachers, this would be a supplementary income. This won't be their getting on their business through it. And you want this to actually be a good experience from the start. So wouldn't it be much better to get an email as a teacher saying, you have a request for a lesson next Thursday. They're not keeping their calendar up to date. They let them accept it. I think it's a crucial starting point.
But a teacher, okay, but it goes back to our teachers your target market, because you haven't identified your target market. You know that's the problem.
Would you want to get a lot of teachers?
You haven't identified your target market, so that can't stand in where we are right now. You haven't you don't know who you're going after, so you don't know what they need. That's what I'm saying. They've already launched. You're already in the field. So play the game as you find who you're going after. Then see what they want. They'll tell you what they want, and then you make the changes as you go. Because you can't be perfect from launch, and you've already launched once again.
Yeah.
So you guys just need to validate.
Well, it's live. It's live, but
it's live.
there's no teachers on the system. Again, if I signed up to that, and certainly I get kind of, I've applied tomorrow night going on, and I certainly have a confirmed booking for tomorrow night, and go, oh shit.
But that's the problem, you see.
But that's a very.
They didn't say they're going for teachers, and they don't say they're going for students. They don't know.
Everybody that they're going for is a teacher in some way or other. The end job might be as a teacher, but what they're doing for the paying customer.
It's about teaching lessons.
Every paying customer is a teacher of some regard, or it might be.
I don't think, but I think you'll be able to drive business by getting teachers in for free and taking your cut of the transaction. And ultimately, you have to get teachers on there saying, supplement your income as a teacher, let people find you. And it needs to be a good experience to supplement their income, get a booking, accept it. And say, oh, this is a handy thing.
No,
It's just an extra step to
calendar. Teacher doesn't update the calendar, somebody pays.
Yeah.
Teachers actually, sorry, and here's my reason.
Maybe you can move on.
You have two disgruntled people, then you have the person who taught you the class and the teacher who's.
That's his case stuff. That stuff isn't going to happen every day of the week with this.
I don't think you've met music teachers ever. If you think that's like, the most disorganizing. Like I think already my mind is just lighting up the thought of an automated calendar system where someone sends me an email, can you do this day, and I have to click yes, or even you're doing it for me. Like if you even said that you're free for 2 hours every evening in the weekend, you know that those are the hours that you're free. Like, and you'll be surprised. Like music teachers are getting by on scraps. They will sacrifice every birthday party in their club to teach someone a lesson, but they're constantly like rearranging stuff because they forget. They write it down in scraps of paper on their arm. Oh, I'll move it here, and so I think it's really, really good to have that working straight off the bat.
So
that absolutely, I think that's it's better for music. But then again, you need to look at like if you're going to have other things like. If you're teaching other skills, it could be completely different. Yeah, it could be, but just in terms of music, the music teachers themselves, they would want that. But then you need to go out and look at if maybe yoga instructors have different issues. I think Philip is right in that sense that you do need to go out a little bit more and talk about people who would talk to them and see exactly what they want. But I would say definitely teachers.
Then here it is.
Tomorrow morning, if tomorrow was hour zero. Next step they've already established that right now they're not in a position to give up their day job to go at this, and they're maybe looking at a partner who might come in and give sweat equity. That's one thing that they're going to look at. But I mean, is there a view that tomorrow priority one over all else is
the security of the basically the teachers. So you vote for the people that are in the system.
Yeah, but I think it's USP.
It would make a fortune if you can vote for the security.
And this goes back to the validation, the verification, and the ranking, in a sense, being that if maybe we're wrong, and that security isn't a big thing, but if it is, if you say it is a big thing, if you accept that this is a selling point that we're going to say it's not the only one of them, but it is one. Is you then have your filter maybe based around that you may be come from the London School of Music and have everything going for you, but if you don't have a guard of vetting, you're not going to get 100. You're not going to get top of the filter.
Should it be a bit simpler?
Well, I think there's trade-offs, and trade-offs will be made by the person looking and saying what's most in me for me. If I'm 40, but if I'm 50 and I want to learn the guitar, and I'm going to be looking at the person who I might be looking for the person who's the cheapest. I might be looking for the person who's got a record of delivering world-class musicians in 12 lessons.
5 minutes.
Sorry.
But if my daughter is doing it, I want to know that the person's being vetted.
Is it not more of a facilitation website than actual school of teaching? Let's say if you take on the responsibility of guard of vetting, does that mean that you're creating more of a school scenario rather than you're facilitating a relationship
between a student and a teacher.
I think it comes back to the display where they have the pictures. If they have like the garlic clearance right there, they can put it up, and then it's not easily going through.
If someone is guard vetted, you can put it on the thing, and then
That's a feature for me. If I want to filter, by.
So,
What are my priorities if I'm with my daughter?
let me,
for myself.
Fergus, let me just, so what you're saying is a sort of a Uber of the teaching classes.
Yeah, well, like, if you
Yeah.
look at how Dundee started, it wasn't pretty, and it wasn't clean. It started simple, and then it got
Absolutely.
And it started, but if you think about how it started, it was a man who put up a load of pictures of his neighbour's machinery, which he didn't own. And then when people called him to buy it, he said it had already been sold. So already he started, no, but he started selling stuff that wasn't actually on the site. So that's kind of, you know, you're.
No, but I'm saying it's
great romance.
It's simplicity.
Yeah, but this is
Like, some said they're bringing up country people. That would be my first step.
Yeah. Use it like don't deal.
Keep saying
Yeah,
that
but
to us
to get
already.
customers,
Like, I think
you
you're coming
need
into a nice kind
to
of time
think
of
about
year,
what
like
they want. Like,
kids
as
are in school,
as a person
or every
myself
time
who
the
is
parents want to
talking
fill their day.
and going to
But also, college days might be failing exams, they might be for through August. There's two people I just talked to. Udemy courses.
Okay.
Talked to him, just see what he was doing in the version.
Sorry.
And there was a company called LYL in the Roof Camp. They do kind of in-house training for some companies, basically like their like training programs with them online. And then there was a third guy, his name come to me, and I'll send it to you, but
No, I'd certainly say to try and give yourselves direction. I think you find out something fantastic. Is that the School of Music? I will guarantee they have to have a FETAC certification as teachers, and they would be the people that I would go to straight away first thing in the morning to find out what needs next. Because they're a School of Music. If anyone wants to go, that's where I would go for teachers. They will tell you everything you need.
If you're talking market, is those kind of teachers.
Okay, guys, we need to wrap it up. We continue the conversation. We continue the conversation, but we have to wrap it up on YouTube.
Something similar.
Okay.
One more.
I think we've talked about a lot of aspects of how the service is going to work and how the platform will work, what people want. Do they want security? How are you going to vet them?
Thank you.
How are you going to figure everything out? At the moment, you have absolutely no idea what any of them want. They're all great considerations, but until a teacher tells you, I need this, 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 and this, and a student tells you, or a parent tells you, who's more likely your customer, well, I want this, 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 and this, then you're wasting your time.
This is what we think they want.
Even thinking about it, because you're thinking what they want.
Yeah,
They need to tell you what they want.
unfortunately, it doesn't work.
Because otherwise you'll build, like, the location problem, you can solve that. Philip is right, you cross that road when you come to it. Until you have a customer and you have a student,
Talking about YouTube, you're going to have to tune in again next week. When we're going to have Pam, which is an Italian.
I am not a man. Desperately trying.
Keep the conversation going, guys, as long as people have input.
Yeah, hopefully we're offline now. But before we finish the conversation, Michael here has a very 2-second announcement he wants to make.